This is an Easter unlike any other in our recent lifetimes. It is an Easter in which there are shadows that surround us. The shadows of illness, the shadows of isolation, and the shadows of loneliness. It is a day, like all Easters, in which the signs of hope abound in our world. The voices and laughter of children who celebrate this Easter day in so many ways filled with joy and happiness and the exhilaration of youth. Of the heroism of our healthcare workers and first responders, of all who are making great sacrifices in these days to reach out to those in greatest need. Of the love of family, even when it cannot be expressed in firsthand embrace at the moments of this year. That love of family which is sustaining and gives us deep hope in our lives and validates all that is good in the world. And particularly this Easter, like all Easters, and in effect, more ardently and more deeply and more profoundly in this particular Easter, it is the resurrection of Christ that for us as Christians, we find a special hope, the strongest hope that we have in this world. For our hope is founded in God, and in God's victory over death is the sign that God stands with us. Sometimes we misunderstand what Christian hope is. Christian hope is not the belief that everything always comes out right. That's merely optimism. Optimism is about tomorrow. Hope is about today. Hope is understanding that at this moment of our lives, when times are tough, it is then that especially God comes to us and embraces us and carries us through. And for this reason, this season, this Easter, of all Easters, is a time of insurmountable hope, because it is the time when God says to us most profoundly, at this moment and always, I will be there.
100 years ago, another influenza pandemic swept through communities great and small around the world. When it was over, the Spanish flu had killed about 50 million worldwide, some 675,000 in this country. The U.S. Catholic Church formed a central charity in some regions to meet the needs of the poor, including children orphaned by the flu. Today, Catholic Charities of San Diego continues that mission to serve the vulnerable, regardless of their faith. The agency provides vital services for homeless residents, seniors, immigrants, and refugees. In response to the current pandemic, the organization quickly launched an emergency distribution network to provide food to individuals and families facing hunger across San Diego and Imperial counties. For 100 years, Catholic Charities has put faith in action. It's been guided by the values of mercy and justice, accompanying individuals on their journey to achieving their full potential.
15,000 students in San Diego and Imperial counties rely on San Diego Catholic schools for their daily education. While classrooms may have closed on Friday the 13th, instruction did not skip a beat. Parish schools started up again the following Monday, and by the middle of the week, classes throughout the diocese were up and running. In only a few days, distance learning plans were developed, technology was acquired, and teachers were trained in a crash effort to keep students on track during the lockdown. All of a sudden, services like Zoom video conferencing and Google Classroom became household names, and teachers who were used to managing classrooms full of children were managing screens full of excited students.
Since we had to put this together very quickly, we were more focused on the needs of our students and families and less on bureaucracy. We have been very pleased with the feedback that we've gotten.
Our family is so thankful to Our Lady of Grace for the digital learning experience that they've created. They did it so quickly, and to see the kids on Zoom calls doing PE classes or learning math equations is a true blessing right now.
As instruction moves forward, students are receiving and turning in assignments on a regular basis. and promotions and graduations for 8th and 12th graders are on a normal schedule. Catholic schools are following the lead of public health authorities. Physical campuses will remain closed until San Diego and Imperial County public health officials say it is safe to reopen. The diocese is prepared to keep campuses closed through the end of May, but if conditions change, parents will be notified. For additional information, go to sdcatholic.org and click on the Catholic Schools button at the top of the page. And now, Easter Mass 2020 with Bishop Robert W. McElroy.